Hey, I just wanted to say thank you for doing this Align to Share right from your yes. And you're probably at the end, and maybe you're cycling through it. Maybe you're moving into the next step, or maybe you're just wondering what could be next. But I really want to just check in and see how you're doing. I would love to hear from you if you want to send me an email or a DM on LinkedIn. I'd be happy to know what you got from this, what if you're using any of it, or even if you're like, I was hoping it was going to be this, if you thought it might need to be something different, or if it was missing something, because everybody's learning styles are also different. Like, maybe you felt like you needed a little something extra. I would just love to know. So you can send me an email or you can DM me on LinkedIn. And I also thought today might be a great day to do a quick little check-in. So now, if you're watching this on YouTube, maybe you haven't gotten the email yet. It comes a few days after day 5. If you're watching from the YouTube list, you may not have it yet. So it'll come, but if not, here we go. We're going to watch it on the video right now. So here's just a quick check-in. Let's do, I would say let's do a few deep breaths, but I like to do mine just a little bit different. So let's start off with, let's do a big exhale. So a lot of people automatically go, no. We're going to do an exhale. Okay, so here we go. Exhale out everything, and then you can take a big, deep breath in. All right. And sometimes I just like to shake it just a little bit, just shake it off a little bit, and then you can do your deep breath, inhale and exhale. And that really calms me down quite a bit. I feel it over my body, and I always notice it in my voice as well. I tend to talk in a little bit of a lower register. It's a little bit of a slower pacing on there. So hopefully you notice some of that benefit too. Okay, so now I just want you to ask yourself, what's changed from day 1 to now? And, one of the things, this is my 4th time going through it, as I've mentioned in the previous videos, but one of the things that I noticed was that things that felt important or really a good idea on day 1 when I wrote it down, or even day 2 when we first did that ranking, by the time I got to day 5 and we ranked them from 1 to 10, I could start to tell like, oh yeah, well, that logically makes sense and it felt good, but it's not what I want. It's almost like I had a third yes. So I had the first yes that came from my body's response. I had the second yes or no that came from my mind thinking strategically, how could I use this? And then I had like a third, which I don't know, I guess I'll describe it as somewhere out here. Third yes and no that just felt like a knowing. That's the only way I know how to explain it. Like, there's this felt part, there's the intellectual part, and then there was just this knowing, like, no, I just know this is not it. And I trusted it. And that's what was different. And every time I experience something like this, I always think it's so funny. It feels almost like foreign, like, ooh, that's really cool. And so, but that's what I noticed between the days, this additional voice that entered in that I'm not sure where it comes from. Maybe it's intuition. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. So that's something I noticed that's changed. And then what feels tender or unclear? Well, there were some that are still in the no, in the maybe column, that I still sense the urgency. Yeah, but I should. Oh, but I think that would make, and those are keywords. Should, I think. It's, they did not start from feels good, makes sense. It didn't have one of those didn't quite work out, or I was just saying I should be thinking this is, but the fact is it doesn't. And that just tells me somebody else's voice is, I've picked up on somebody else's thoughts, opinions, voice or something. And then what surprised you? I think one of the things that surprised me as how silly I thought about some of the things, how I would get the giggles like the pigeon, and I didn't think that that would be so silly on there, and how excited I was about the pen thing, because it's something that I do day in and day out, but I never really thought about using it. So I pick my pen color each day, or even if I start a document, if I have the choice to choose a font, I will start there and I'll use my inner yes to decide it, because it's low risk. But gosh, what a simple way of practicing that every single day. And it seeps into other areas of life. It's almost like I didn't even realize I was doing that until I was trying to think about what are ideas, and I was running through my mind of what I do every single day. So those are some things that, for me, this time going through it. And you're welcome to share. I would love to hear from you. So the other thing that I've just, it comes out in the email too. I guess I'll leave you just with one thing. In teaching, we had something that we used to follow. If you don't know, I was college professor for 19 years. And we used to always follow this thing called Bloom's taxonomy. And it had a hierarchy of thinking, and remembering and understanding are at the bottom, but creating with something is the very top of the pyramid. And that's what we always wanted to move our students to. We need to start off with, can they remember it? Do you understand it? Can you analyze? Can you apply it? Can you evaluate it? To make those choices. But creating is always what we wanted them to get to. Create your own thing with this. Now that you've built some understanding, a little bit more depth, and knowing and seeing what works and what doesn't work, now what would you create with it? And that's what I want you to think about this, yes, is what would you create with it now? How could you use this now that you're learning it? Because it's not simply learn it, do it for 5 days, and then don't do it anymore. What can you create with it? Like I did with the pen. I created a way to use this every single day, because it builds that mind-body trust. That's what I created with it. I created mind-body trust by picking out a pen color every day. Actually, I do it more than once a day because I write a lot by hand. But that's what I'm going to invite you to. And so it's kind of like a little bit of a surprise to see this come full circle for me. And I'm so glad that I recorded these on a video, because I think also sharing it back with you and telling you what I achieved from it helped me to understand it that much more. So I really hope you enjoyed this, and please reach out if you want to. And if not, I really hope whatever your next step is, you breathe in your inner yes and no as you go forth. Does it feel good? And then does it make sense?